I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap, and my name is XRP.
Hi.
Yeah, get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. We about to bank it, unbank it.
Hello Joel, hello XRP Hard. Hello Danny. Hi Raf. Sorry. Brain damage. Hi Levelan.
Everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise.
Hi Mr. Luck.
Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap, and my name is XRP. I'm faster.
Hello, hi Christoph, hi Jasper, hi XRP Pajama.
I'm faster, I'm cheap, and my name is XRP.
We will be
Everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody
17 seconds late. 17 seconds late, yeah. I'm fine, XRP chance of a lifetime. Hi Robert, hello Mike.
Everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see.
Hello everyone, let's get started. Today I basically just have one topic I wanna quickly touch upon. Most might have noticed that actually let me turn the mic a little bit closer to me. I hope you hear me well. The website from Ripple has been redesigned. There is almost no more XCurrent, XVIA and XRapid to be found. They talk now about ODL, on-demand liquidity, and I have received a question from a guy on Twitter asking me to cover that. And actually, let me quickly check something, because Mickey B. Fresh, I hope he doesn't take it wrong, he answered to a similar question recently with a very interesting summary about that. Can I find it? Hold on a second. Actually, I don't find it. If I find it, I will put it somewhere for you guys to read. But what ODL basically is about, on-demand liquidity. I mean, as we all know, XRapid is basically the tool which provides on-demand liquidity, and we basically have been waiting for more and more XRapid customers to be announced, or actually many of you have been waiting. However, as well, last year Ripple announced also Xcurrent 4 with the multi-hop feature. And multi-hop lets any Xcurrent user connect to an appropriate XRapid installation in the particular country. And that's exactly why the Moneygram deal is so crucial and so important, because Moneygram will basically open all those corridors, and Mickey B. Fresh basically summarized that. In addition, if you watch the movie on what RippleNet is on the new page, they basically explain that there are two kind of RippleNet users. The users like you and me sending money, and the actual members, and they do not differentiate anymore between Xcurrent and XRapid. Maybe, I don't know, I mean, why would you make an XRapid customer pay more when he's basically offering through the multi-hop feature a service for other companies? Actually, his XRapid installation should even be cheaper because he's offering a service to the others. So basically that's the big picture, and I think it's good. Some may actually refer to this way of Ripple not selling products anymore as the convergence, which has been talked about a year ago, when some of those riddlers were basically telling about the product convergence. But as they basically don't sell products anymore, but they just sell so-called, I don't know, memberships. I mean, maybe it's like that or not. However, yeah, I hope everyone understood what I was talking about this ODL on-demand liquidity. Yeah, that was it from my side. I am still very, very bullish until the end of the year, but I don't put any hope into any proposed date, because there are people proposing dates when there may come a decision from the SEC if XRP is a security or not. Others say it's when Corda Settler starts using XRP. There is like many dates. I think it'll happen totally by surprise. When moon? I really have no idea when moon. XRP chance of a lifetime. That's an interesting question. Well, basically, I believe that Ripple is just, I mean, we do not know details, and so far I haven't seen any comments on this ODL thing. But, sorry, I didn't sleep well the night before yesterday, or before today. I'm still tired. Well, basically, as long as you're member of RippleNet, and you have access to the appropriate how do you say, features like multi-hop and this on-demand liquidity, which is being offered, from currently a multi-hop to XRapid. However, if they, I think most likely we will hear, I think swell is around 10th of November or so. And I'm pretty sure we will hear some updates until then. Let me quickly ask my wife to bring me a coffee. Maybe she's so kind and they will do that. So, I hope I did answer your question. XRP chance of lifetime. Well, XRP hard. Surely this ODL thing is taking maybe XRP a little bit, at least textually from the way they explain it, a little bit out of focus. But as we all know, it'll still be the center of the on-demand liquidity. Maybe it also has something to do with this X pool, where still no one has any knowledge about anything. Good question, Kevin Patterson. Well, basically, I'd say all who do know are under NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and they will not be privately. They will not be allowed to buy XRP. Surely they will tell their friends and family, and this is basically, I think, more or less confirmed in when I on the weekend I tried to create some statistics on Ledger Exposed, like how it has evolved. In I think I had 4 snapshots over the past year or so. Then I kind of compared how many accounts, how much average as per level of XRP they're holding and stuff. And I mean, we all know I think in the last 2 years the XRP holders grew from 1.4 million to 1.8 million in the meantime. So there is more people. Well, maybe they had XRP already, but now they have it in their, I mean, that's actually wrong explained. They don't have it in their private wallet because that's not possible, but they have a private wallet for their XRP. Let's call it like that. And yeah. Okay. So that's the reason why I think we do see increase of XRP being held by retail investors, but banks are not allowed to hold, and governments, I really don't know why, if or not they are allowed to hold assets at all. I mean, basically a government shouldn't make any profit. I mean, maybe a central bank is allowed to make profit, but the financials of a government should be just what they expense, is it called like that, and what they receive from taxes. I mean, Well, XRP chance of a lifetime. Yes, your question. I mean, those new customers. Forget about ODL. ODL is basically RippleNet, and it gives you the ability to tap into ODL, into on-demand liquidity. And that's how they're marketing it now. But it's basically nothing has changed from the product side, so to speak. Tiki, I don't think that XRP will dump once it's being qualified as security. I really don't think. I think they're talking about current time. No, I never tried cinnamon in my coffee. Can you say Ryan Green has rickets? Why should I say that? Is that a fun game? Is that to make me stop yawning? That was a guy, Maddock. He's also here in the live chat. He posted an information about the ACI thing, and that's actually, I mean, ACI is another, I'm not sure if they're like a payment gateway provider, more similar to Earthport, or if it's really payment software. But it's quite huge anyway, because ACI is covering, I think, almost 10% of the global SWIFT market. Yeah, well, that's the case, that the US can imply sanctions by using SWIFT. But when all the world is using different rails, I mean, XRP chance of a lifetime. Well, to use multi-hop via XRapid or not, that's still their decision. There might be instances where, as long as the Nostro accounts exist, where the Nostro way is cheaper and faster even than XRP, especially for places where there are no exchanges offering XRP in a certain currency, because that's basically required. Talking about currencies, actually, I think I read when I scanned the new website from Ripple that they actually now officially offer on-demand liquidity in about 40 currencies. Can someone confirm that? I think I read that. Tanfo, well, your question regarding the global reserve currency. Hold on, I think my wife didn't get it. Unavailable. That's weird. Hold on. Kannst du mir einen Kaffee bringen? Großen Kaffee. Super, danke. Coming back to the question from Tanfo, what is a reserve currency? I mean, the reserve, please correct me, but the reason why we call the dollar reserve currency is because you can trade in any or between any two countries in terms of dollars, because it's like a global exchange rate which always is valid. If XRP can take that role of a global base exchange rate, I doubt, because then it would have to be kind of stable, and that's also the reason why it cannot be backed or pegged or whatever to any other asset like gold or anything. Forget about all that. That simply won't work. Basically, the idea of XRP is being a bridge asset, and the idea of a reserve currency is kind of like a measure how you can measure a value of something between two other currencies, and that won't be possible by using XRP as this base exchange rate. For that, I'd say no, but you will not be trading in dollars anymore with countries where there is basically no other exchange. You will be doing that via XRP, and if that's what you call a global reserve currency, then be it. I mean, for me that term is kind of, that's, look at that, my wife is so nice. Vielen Dank. She really brought me coffee. Unbelievable. My wife is so good. So I hope I answered your question, Tanfu. XRP Alliance is actually, well, XRP Alliance, or Mike, please don't tell anyone like where I work and what I do. But Mike is actually asking me to talk about a mail I received today, and I'm working in those doing a little bit of invest, or I don't know if it's still possible now, but if you do a little bit investigative work, you'll figure out for which global company I'm working for. It's kind of a huge company with over 120,000 employees, I guess. And we're having obviously similar problems as other global players in trade, finance and payments and liquidity management and cash management and stuff like that. And about a year ago I contacted a guy at the treasury department, the global treasury department in our company, and he told me actually that my company has been in contact with Ripple since 2016. At that time I just wanted to know or propose them using ILP or something, or become a member of RippleNet in order to not require this totally stupid intra-company netting application, which makes basically totally no sense. if you could move value immediately. And today in the morning I figured I wanted to investigate R3 a little bit. So I went and checked for the trade finance partners and customers, kind of looking for a name which was familiar to me, but not a bank, more like a supplier or something. But I didn't. The names I basically knew were mostly financial institutions. So basically, I wrote R3 an email asking if those trade finance solutions, Marco Polo and Voltron, to be released or to go productive this year. If the idea is for the banks to use those trade finance solutions, because after all, trade finance starts at the customer or at the supplier and ends at the customer, or the other way around. However way you want to see, if you look at the product flow or the money flow, it's one or the other direction, obviously. And then I asked R3, is it not also the intention that the whole kind of supply chain would participate in such a trade finance solution? And I received back an email from them about 2 hours later that they actually are in contact with my company already, and they referred to me to the same name I received internally last year when I was talking to those treasury guys. And that was kind of interesting. So kind of I was directed towards that guy a second time via a slightly different route. So and what I basically want to say is, by knowing that my company is in contact with R3, and I'm pretty sure it's about those trade finance solutions, you can be sure that it's literally not just for the banks, it's also for the whole supply chain. No idea why Moneygram stock is falling. Gaurav, watch my video Shane Ellis theory. There I explain it. It's a matter of 15 minutes. Yes, that was I think the video from this CLS guy. The guy, I actually linked 2 videos on Twitter. One was about the guy from kind of one of these new banks, these more like online banks only. He was actually really giving interesting examples about how markets or supply chains work, and why trade finance and accompanying services are so important. And I really recommend that for those interested to understand a little bit or get a little bit an idea of why those systems are so complicated. Watch that video I linked. And then the second video I linked was a video with a guy from the CLS group, and I think he mentioned 6 to 12 trillion, I think a day, if I not remember wrong. I'm pretty sure they also settle securities. And you have to understand, Franjo Tihic, these 6 to 12 trillion, that's just the net. CLS group is netting. So basically the not net volume could be like 10 times higher. We don't know. That's just a guess. Mr. Tank, yes, I still think 4 digits is possible this year. George, you nailed it. That's the sentence George wrote is basically what most people don't understand. It's just a bridge asset purely for transition. As simple as this is, but literally little few people understand the simplicity behind this sentence. Thank you, George. I mean, that implies it cannot be packed or backed or whatever tagged to any other asset, because that would make it an asset and not like with kind of a stable value. That also means that it kind of cannot be a global reserve currency, because the function of a reserve currency, I believe, is two ways today. In this base exchange rate value, so that you can compare stuff between two countries, and actually as a medium of exchange. And that medium of exchange, that functionality of the reserve currency, XRP will replace, but the more important functionality of this base exchange rate, that will most likely still be the dollar, because it's so easy to do it on the dollar. Well, actually, XRP Chance of Lifetime is asking about regulations, if customers have to pass regulations. Well, it's actually an interesting and also a little bit the funny question. The funny thing is, I mean, imagine a bank as a member on RippleNet. When they initiate the transaction using XRP, it'll have to be the bank itself to be KYC'd and AML'd, which is kind of funny, because they themselves have to make sure that they do that with their customers. So we can kind of be quite sure that the bank itself doesn't need to prove that they are whom they are. And when we talk about RippleNet as such, I've been telling that since about a year ago. I don't think we're waiting for regulation. It could be that we wait for a clear statement from the SEC if XRP is a security or not. That could be, at least for US, because in the rest of the world it simply won't matter. However, when we talk about RippleNet as being infrastructure, those people using RippleNet, they are KYC'd and they underwent an AML check. that's basically also the reason why Bittrex has been chosen to be an XRapid preferred partner exchange, because they make for them compliance, like KYC and AML compliance, is very important. Ocho Semi, what you think this year some banks go? I don't understand your question. Semi, it takes 15 minutes. Watch my video about Shane Ellis. Oh, Stream Health. Sorry for the break. It looks like once again the connection is bad. So can you tell me if you hear me and or see me? We can't see you, but can you hear me? Well, David C, yes, there should be more Ripple preferred partners. But then I stated that more than once. Ripple is not a public company. They don't have to let us know every detail. They tell us exactly how much they deem fit. Fuck. You're back. Well, I think shit happens. Like, what's this? I used to know that. There's this rule. When something goes haywire, it goes in the worst way haywire. The law of... I forget the law. Never mind. Okay, now the stream health seems to be fine again also. But my camera also dropped off. Roger Semi is asking how many banks maybe or will be using XRapid this year. And I'm pretty sure it'll be, if he says dozens, then I think he means dozens. I'm pretty sure we will see that. David T, well, I don't know how my sentiment will be in 6 months time from now if we're still at below $1. That depends on news we're receiving. I'm pretty sure during Swell we'll hear quite some interviews. They will let us know about the status. I'm pretty sure they will update their amount of customers and stuff. The thing is, I don't believe that we're in 6 months still below $100. Three digits will have. I mean, everything else for me is failure. They will not want to wait another year. Why? There's literally. I mean, there may be banks which don't want real-time gross settlement because they're not ready yet with their other processes. I mean, you have to think about the fact for a small bank it's easy because they have to change little stuff in their ecosystem when they're using RippleNet. For a big bank with so many, I don't know, accounts and different transaction types and blah blah and connections and everything, that's like hell. They have to kind of train their people first to use that system, and that system will run 24/7, which basically means somehow they have to manage the sleep time processing. Maybe they have to change their, I don't know, software schedules for whatever internal netting purposes or anything. I mean, we think it's just turning on the motor and that's it. But it's you can imagine it's roughly the same as if you would exchange the combustion engine in your car with an electrical engine. Okay, that way around maybe even a bit easier, but let's do it the other way around. You have an electric car and you don't want to ride on battery anymore, you want the combustion engine. I mean, you would basically need to build the gearbox and everything in. You cannot just turn the start knob and start and there it is, the combustion engine. There's lots of stuff which needs to be adjusted. So, and I have mentioned that I think at the beginning of this year that maybe the banks are a bit nervous, not about RippleNet as such, but more about that they basically can handle their internal processes. And that's, I think at that time, and the last time mentioned my thought about that was the moment when basically I explained it like that I mean, we don't know how many dollars or the volume which is going through RippleNet, not XRP, just like fiat to fiat. We have no clue. We will also not know that once ILP will be the global standard, because it'll be encrypted channels. We will have no clue whom connects with whom and what values they will be exchanging with each other. But in terms of RippleNet, by actually using just the X current way, they basically already could experience kind of like the new ways to deal with a 24/7 system. And maybe that's the reason that they, I don't know, needed about half a year to get enough experience with a 24/7 thing, and now maybe they will, I don't know, ramp up slowly this on-demand liquidity thing. And that will also mean for the liquidity guys, I mean, each bank has liquidity or cash management, like I think in our company it's the treasury department. They're basically managing the liquidity, and if you need to manage liquidity as per today, that's a totally different story than just predict a rough figure of liquidity you need in 3 days from now. That's like a new sport, and they need, maybe it's really that they just need some time to train their people. Stream health again, scheiße. The stream is continuing, so I hope you heard me until the end. No, I didn't receive an answer, user 77836, for my question regarding SPI VC. Hi Schofield, thanks for your support, it's really appreciated. Are you French? Georgiou, you're like rough, you're totally, like, I mean, that's basically what I've been trying to bring across for like almost 2 years now. A lot of more rails. Do you guys remember that at certain point in time the Ripple PDFs changed from connecting banks with banks to connecting payment networks with payment networks, like European network with Australian network? Basically they do not, and I'm pretty sure in some of the cases that's the case. Like, I'm pretty sure US and Europe are, there's just one connection to the Japanese real-time gross settlement system payment network, conducted basically by SPI. I mean, that's it. And as long as they prefer not to tell us about it, we will think, where's the volume? But once they turn it on, there will be like freaking lot of volume. George, you get it. George Pacheco, this Torre coin, I mean, that was just, some basically criticized me for using that as an example. The thing was, I just wanted to show that basically it's possible for a coin to rise. Now the criticism was that the volume and total amount of coins of this Torre coin is so low that it's way easier to manipulate. I mean, basically the founder of that Torre coin could have bought 10 coins at $2,000 and the price would have surged. That's, but basically it's to say, it's, I mean, after all, it's Shane Ellis. The only thing different is on XRP, it will not be enough to buy 500 XRP at $5,000, but it'll really need to be like a payment over 50 or 100 million, and then it could stay like there. And that was the whole point of that tweet, to show that it's actually possible, whatever the preconditions on each side. Angolano. Então poderíamos falar em português. Angola fala português, não? Ah, so Angolano it's Portuguese even. Yeah, so basically, I mean, I'm sorry for the I'm sorry for the interruptions. We could make a Portuguese live stream almost. Well, I don't know if my Portuguese would be fine enough for that. So there isn't coming much more. Is there any other more question for you? Otherwise, I will finish with saying thank you for your patience, especially today with the disrupted live stream, for your trust and faith in following me, for bringing interesting questions during the live stream. I'm sorry that I was yawning so many times today. I'm still sleepy due to the sleepless night 2 days ago, and I'm still very, very, very optimistic that we see a freaking high price until the end of the year. All it takes is 15 minutes to get, maybe not to 4 digits, but certainly to the mid-range to higher range 3 digits, and maybe it'll stay there for, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. So no more question coming. If not, I am leaving you alone a little bit early today. Hope to see you next week, hear from you. If you have any questions, put them on the comments on the video, or write me on Twitter. Thanks. Take care. Bye bye.